it's going to be sustainable if it works for you in the long term.
Finding ways to incorporate sustainability into our lives in order to help our planet can be challenging at times. There's a lot of information out there, and it's not always easy to know exactly what action we need to take to help. Personally, I heard the word a lot, but I wasn't clear on exactly what I could do to make a change. Luckily, I've had a chance to learn from my dear friend and sustainability expert, Thoey.
Hi, everyone.
Thoey has been building an eco-conscious lifestyle for the past 12 years since her business EcoMonster started back in 2008. EcoMonster is a brand that centers on sustainable living, providing inspiration and consulting for the everyday greener home living and office spaces. Thoey's home was featured in Apartment Therapy, illustrating her colorful style and her focus on incorporating upcycled vintage pieces into her space. During quarantine, Thoey let me join her on a project that she decided to undertake, which embodies the concept of sustainability. She needed a few pieces of furniture in her house, and instead of buying new ones, she decided to upcycle ones that were no longer serving others. In this video, we'll have a chat with Thoey to learn about sustainability, hear about the entire upcycling process of the pieces, and we'll finalize with the before and after images. Stick around if you'd like to see the quick version of a slow transformation.
In the darkest hour, I wanna come for you.
Welcome, Thoey. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited about having this conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm so
Hi.
excited to have this conversation today with you.
Great. All right, so before we jump into the project, furniture pieces before and after, I wanted to talk a little bit about sustainability just for context for everyone.
Yeah, so I started EcoMonster in 2008, and I started out with the original concept of finding fun and creative ways to spread and spark the green message of being more eco-conscious. And it's a practice, it's a lifestyle, and like anything, it is a conscious mindfulness practice, I have found. And even to this day, even though it's been years on my journey of sustainability living, I'm still learning ways to be more eco-conscious. And I love that it is part of the mainstream conversation, which I love. So going back to the basic concept of eco-friendly sustainability, it's going back to the basic 3 R's, which is reduce, reuse, recycle. So with EcoMonster, we're always trying to find ways to repurpose. That's probably my favorite: upcycling, repurpose, reusing, using materials that already exist rather than purchasing brand new, and what can you do with that? And so this was the perfect project to go out and find furniture that's being disposed and to turn it into something that I can cherish and use for years to come.
If I wanted to take action right away today with one simple thing, what would that look like?
It starts with where you're at. Just start. Don't feel guilt. Don't feel shame. Just start with where you're at. It's great that you're interested and aware and just know about it, and you're excited to learn more about sustainability. It looks different for every household, for your lifestyle, what you're trying to achieve. It's going to be sustainable if it works for you in the long term. You got to really reflect and see where you're at. So it starts with doing an inventory and then kind of start to categorize it. So I always thought that KonMari categories were helpful. When it comes to your closet, you could look into capsule wardrobe if you're interested in that. In the kitchen, you could be looking at how to lower your food waste. When it comes to your home decorating, which is what we love, is repurposing furniture, how to restore furniture, how to thrift for decor items, things like that. So think about the category that you're excited about, because that also adds to your own sustainability, because that means that it will be fun.
It takes us right into our project, which was fun for both of us. What was the process of actually finding these?
So for this project, because I knew I kind of had a running list, I looked on OfferUp. It's very handy because you're able to save your searches. So for example, I was looking for a set of nightstands. So I was able to save that, and it would ping me anytime someone posted it. So I filtered it down to free. So it would ping me right away. And with these things, sometimes they go pretty quickly. So that's why it's helpful, is because you would be first. And so if you respond quickly, by doing that, I was notified when someone was giving away these nightstands. But the bonus was that it was more than just a nightstand. It was a 5-piece set. And that 5-piece just happened to hit my other wish list items.
Wow. So it was meant to be for sure.
I know. Yeah.
You found the pieces, you picked them up. Now you have to envision, like, okay, what do I want to do with them? Because you have all these options, all these colors. Where can you advise people to find ideas, and how is your process?
I always like to start off designing a room based on like the mood I'm going for or the theme. And then that helps me kind of like settle with the colors, because I think if I start with colors, I there's just so many options. So I was like, okay, what mood am I going for? I wanted to go for serene. I want it to be peaceful, relaxing. So that in itself like really helps me. That means that I don't want busy colors in my bedroom. Although I'm a very loud, I love bold colors. When it came to the bedroom, I wanted it to be a place that I can go to relax. So that just simplified and helped me take me into a direction. So yeah, it was meant to be, because the color that I ended up picking out, the name of it was Serene. So I was like, okay, that helped a lot. So yeah, I would say that's how I started out, is like the mood of the room, where the piece is going, and that just kind of helps narrow it down.
Let's talk about the actual transformation. And something I want to bring up is your concept of slow living. The reason why I bring this up is because everyone's going to see the transformation in a few minutes, right? It's just minutes, but it actually took, I want to say 2 months, maybe 3, to do the process. So it was a slow project. And I know that for you, it was the intention to make it that way. So tell us a little bit why this slow moving process is important to you.
I think with our, there's so much social media, Pinterest boards, and I found myself in that place where I was very frustrated with myself of how slow I was decorating my place. I had to remind myself that what is online is really, it's before and after, but there's less about the journey of the project. And I try to apply that with every part of my life, not just with decorating, but it's a good project to practice it in. And truly was a good practice, because even though I had said, okay, I'm going to take my time, there's no rush, I still found myself like, why is this going so slow? I should have gotten it done last week.
That's a natural feeling, given what you just said about how we live, social media, everything's shown to us so quickly. For me, it was a big learning. It was actually a way of enjoying the process and not just the end outcome. Let's jump right into the project stages.
First was the cleaning, sanding, prepping, grabbing all the supplies. The second part was the transformation of the pieces. That's when the wow factor of when you put on the paint, when you're like restaining it. And then the last final stage is like the tiny little details that we obsess over, the little details, and then giving it that protected gloss and wax so that it will last for years to come. So yeah, those 3 stages.
One of the hardest parts of the project was the staining of the furniture. As most of you might have noticed, this is not a how-to video, but maybe regarding the staining, there's specific tips you could give us, because I know there was a lot of lessons learned.
Midway, just looking at what I wanted to do with each piece, I was like, no, I really want to keep the original wood. We saw the top of the dresser, like the original wood was really beautiful. It had these rain details. There was a lot of lessons learned in that. I learned that the weather temperature had a big factor in the staining process. So I had to wait for a particular certain time of the day, week. It was narrow time that I was able to work on the staining part of it. And I had to work very quickly. So I used other smaller pieces to test out. And then I'd have to resand it down because I had messed up, learned from it, and then got better, so that when it came to the final big piece that I was really worried about, we were much better experienced, even though it still took a lot of tries. But once I turned that corner of there's nothing wrong with experimenting and learning, just giving myself that grace. Then I was like, okay. And then eventually it always works out.
The final part of the transformation, which was painting, I remember when we got to that, at least I was very happy about it, because it's probably the most kind of easy and rewarding part. Is there anything that you would say about painting?
I would say maybe start out with a small set and not go with 5 pieces. I think that was a big part of it, was because it was such a big project. It took a long time to feel like, oh, finally I have that like final piece. But yeah, if we had just started out small with just the nightstands, I think we would have felt that instant gratification of like, yeah, we did it, we restored it, like all of that.
This was definitely a big project. I know obviously the pieces you found for free, but what was the budget for the rest of the materials and everything else?
Yeah, I'll definitely crunch all the numbers, and I would love to share that in a blog post, in case that's helpful for anyone out there. Even without crunching the numbers, I know we saved at least $500 to $1,000 on just putting in our own effort to restoring these pieces. The cost was definitely the supplies, your own time, and the cost of moving the furniture. So when I say ballpark, it was less than $500 for sure.
Those pieces would cost thousands of dollars, especially the way they looked at the end. And now let's see the before and after of all the pieces. Once it was done, what was your feeling?
I do still remember the first night, like I was in my bedroom and like I got to just sit back and like look at the piece that I've been working so long on, and it was finally in. And it was pretty funny because my partner came in and was like, oh, I know why you went to bed early, so you can hang out with your furniture pieces. I was so excited. It was great. So yeah, like we still enjoy it till this day, and it's going to be loved for a very long time. Like we really enjoy the pieces like in our space, more so than I had even imagined. So that was definitely a huge win.
So the effort was worth it?
Like, it was so worth it. It was such a struggle. And maybe that's part of it too. Like you know how much hard work you went into it. But this piece like is so unique. I love all the details on it. I love that it is being taken care of, and they give so much character to our home.
Are there any final thoughts?
Yes. Even though you gave me all the credit, I want to say a huge shout out to you. Thank you for helping me with this project. I definitely would not have even started. I know the first thing I did when I found this piece, I was like, Nancy, I found these pieces. And you're like, let's do it. And that really gave me the push to like take on the project. If it was myself, I definitely would have just stick to nightstands. Knowing myself, I was like really intimidated by completing all these pieces. And so thanks to you for gifting me, to pushing me and helping me be a part of completing this project, and so that we have these pieces to enjoy.
Thank you so much, Thoey. Well, I wanted to thank you for letting me be a part of this project. I had so much fun doing it together, and especially during these times, being able to see you, hang out with you and Scooter, and work on this together, learn about sustainability, learn about slow living. All of this was just so much fun, and it's an honor to have done this together. It's an honor to have you in this video today, and most of all, it's an honor to have you as a friend. So I can't wait to do another project with you, and I know we have many on the list, so more to come. But thanks again for everything.
Yes. All right, thanks, Nati.
I'm so impressed with the way the furniture turned out, and I learned so much from working with Thoey. There was a lot of hard work put into the process, and it definitely represents working slow and thoughtfully in contrast to the fast and sometimes reckless approach to everything else in the world. The result? Less stuff in our landfills, less waste of energy making new furniture, and beautiful pieces that are really aligned with Thoey's space and lifestyle and that will live on for many years.